Hey, it's MK, and I am back with Scraptember and 30 Days of Sketches. Here is the sketch by Lolly Loves Paper, sketch number 3. I love this sketch, and it made me think of welding sparks. Probably because that's what I have on the brain. We did a lot of welding this summer by putting up a pipe fence around our entire property. I also have these really old, close to my heart, corrugated stars that I have already inked. And then I have a scrap of this, like a rusty paper, as well as these cork stars. And this rusty paper right here is, it comes with a cool little border strip. It's Kaisercraft Factory 42. And when I flipped it over, I thought, I should use that paper too. I wonder if I have enough to do both. Just a little thought. Then I also went to my Cricut and I cut out some sparks, or a spark, I should say. And then I'm going to back it with this gorgeous glitter paper that is also from Close to My Heart from many, many moons ago. Now, Close to My Heart's cardstock is double-sided, and so I wasn't sure if I liked the darker side of this or not, but I do plan on distressing it with some of this mica spray in antiqued bronze, as well as using some ink in espresso. So the first thing I was going to do was just ink up the edges, and I inked up the dark side. And then when I flipped it over to see if I could ink the back side, and then it'll kind of like catch on the lip of the cut file, what I was trying to do was just ink the edges of this cut file. But the more that I kept blending it out, the more I was like, that's like really super cool looking. Let me go get my blender brush and see if I like the whole thing blended. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ink the entire side, which this is the back side of my cut file, which that's why it seems a little lighter than it was when I first started inking it. And of course, I get a little rough and, or most people call it getting a little Western. That's the front side. And then I flipped it over to show you guys the other side just to see which one I liked better. I got a little Western and ripped a few pieces, but the photo is going to hide it all. You won't even notice. And it happened so fast that, yeah, you probably won't even notice. So inked the other side of the edges as well. And now I am putting some score tape down. Now I'm using score tape because when you use regular tape to put towards this glitter paper, it does not stick. It like pretends to stick. It'll kind of like make you think it's sticking, but it doesn't really stick. So I use the score tape. This is the score tape brand, score tape, or Terran tape is what other manufacturers call it. I have noticed a difference. It's very slight in quality as far as, them sticking more better than others, if that's even a correct sentence. But yes, I have noticed a quality only because I've been working with score tape for so long. So what I do is to make sure, because score tape, like I said, super uber sticky. So I only do one side at a time. I make sure that that side is exactly where I want, and then I take my bone folder and burnish it down. And as I go, I just keep taking up the pieces and burnishing, taking up the pieces and burnishing. So I did the centerpiece first and made sure that everything was squared off before I did the edges. If I would have gotten a little crooked, that would have been okay to just cut a little bit off. Not a big deal. So I am going to mat my photos, and the first thing I tried was the pipe side, which I thought was pretty cool because we are putting up a pipe fence. Anyways, play on words. But I really wanted to use the pipe side, even though you won't even hardly be able to see that it is the pipe. It's the color I was going for. But my photos blended in with it too much. It didn't look like a border like I like. So basically what I had to do was go into my stash and pull out a scrap of this dark brown cardstock. And then I'm going to cut the pipe print for the other mat. So I matted it twice, and I really, really, really like how this looks. Normally I don't mat my photos twice. I just think it's just a bit too much, and the borders get a little bit too big. But for these ones, I really liked it. So anyways, I am going to set up my title, and it's going to be Fabricate. So instead of fabulous, it's going to be fabricate. Actually, I think it's fabricated because we did fabricate this fence. We have no directions. It wasn't a kit. It wasn't anything. We bought the materials and we made it the size, the height, the length, everything that we wanted. So we technically, according to the dictionary, fabricated this fence. And so I really wanted to express the word fab, like fabulous. So I put a little squiggly line thing, I don't even know what those are called, in between the word, the B and the R. So I didn't misspell the word. I just put a hyphen in it to kind of like show that it's fabulous, but it was also fabricated. Anyways, that was a little bit too much, but anyways, I just really wanted to make this super fun. Oh, and the prompt for today, guess what it is? My favorite thing in the whole wide world next to hexagons, it's stars. So I had absolutely no problem saying, okay, I can throw a few million stars at this at this layout. So I'm going to use up these really uber old. Now, the first thing that I did when I first started doing the stars, and because I already had my Cricut up and running and the materials out to be to cut, I was going to Cricut all of my stars, and I was going to go, okay, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars this size, and 1, 2, 3, 4 stars this size. I mean, I was going to make it look exactly like the sketch. Yeah. And then I thought about it and I was like, wait a minute, I have a ton of stars. Like I have stars in 6 different locations in my craft room. Seriously. So do I really need to use the Cricut to make stars? No, I don't. So I'm going to use cork and all the textures. I absolutely love the textures that all of these stars create for this layout, because it's kind of sort of, you know, the leather for his gloves and the fabric for his jacket and, you know, the reflective for his, you know, his vest and stuff like that. So I just thought it was really uber super cool to have all of those textures going on. So once I decide where I want all of these stars, now I don't end up using all of these stars. I kind of reserve some for a later project, but I am going off of, you know, my placement is going off of the sketch. Like I said, I'm trying to stay pretty true to this sketch because I absolutely love how it does look like the sparks from the welding. So what I decided to do is that the title does not stick out enough for me. So I took the rest of my pipe paper. Anyways, I'm so sorry. I took the rest of that paper and popped it up. That way I can put it on or put my title on it instead of straight onto the layout. Plus then that solves my problem of having that star right in between the 2 photos and underneath my title. So the whole time I'm putting the stars down, I kept thinking, how am I going to attach this very rigid title over that corrugated star? So the first thing I did was I thought I was going to overlap it at the top, and then I put it down at the bottom, and I thought, oh, I like that a lot better. So I left it over at the top. I started on the left side, worked my way in the center, and then I started on the right side and worked my way over to the other side for my titles when I am putting them on a specific sized element. Well, then while that was all drying, not that it needed drying time, I decided that I wanted sequins. So I have this package of sequins that came in a kit, and I apologize uber super bad that I do not remember what kit it came in, but they were perfect. They had just the right blue and just the right green that match my husband's welding jacket. So I was like, oh my goodness, these are perfect. Plus, the first thing that I just put on, they're gears, you guys. They're teeny tiny itty bitty little sequins gears. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's even better. So what I did was I worked my way around the layout and I put down all the gears, just randomly throughout the entire layout around the stars. Then I went through and I did all the blue ones. Now I am doing all of the green ones, which I thought at first I was going to run out of green because I put way more green than I did blue, just so that way it was definitely apparent that I wanted that green on there, which is like a neon green, you guys. It's just perfect. I can't tell you enough. It was perfect. So once I'm done putting all the green down, then I realized that there was actual like real sequins in there. They weren't, they were the actual real, like they're kind of cupped. And they kind of, I don't know how to describe a sequins, you guys. The blue and the green ones were just flat little circles. That's all they were. But when you come to a sequins, they kind of have like a dome shape to them on one side, and you flip them over and they're kind of like cupped like a bowl. So there was real ones like that. And then there were like almost see-through ones. And so I'm going to go through, once I'm done putting all of my sequins down, I just went around in a circle over and over again, putting each one down, adding a little bit more. Now I'm going to take my mica mist. This is a coppery one, antique brass or something, antique bronze, one of the two, or one of the three, I should say, from Tim Holtz, that just completed the rest of this layout, you guys. I just felt like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. It looks like a splatter, like all the chaos that you get from a weld. It just really does. I love it. Sorry. I love all the different textures. I love all the different metals that were used. I just enjoy the big, huge burst that this layout has. I also wanted to say that it's not very often that I start from the middle and work my way out. Normally I am, left-sided or right-sided, down in the bottom corner, up in the upper right corner, something like that. So it's not very often that I get to play around with a center-focused layout like this. So anyways, had a blast. Thank you so very much for watching and listening and hanging out with me today. Be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with Scraptember or 30 Days of Sketches or both. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.